Now, we're going to talk about 10 terrible mistakes that you should never make in bed. 10 terrible mistakes. Hey guys, welcome to the Juicy Town, where we talk about all things love, sex, and relationship. My name is Jane Lawrence, and I come with a lot of juicy content. And on today's show, I will be giving you some mistakes that you should avoid when making love. And I am not targeting any particular gender today, okay? I'm just throwing it all out there. And here we go. Number one, whatever you do, please do not miss the targets. Of course, this is for the men out there who hardly differentiate between the two holes, all right? I mean, except you are super drunk or you're a virgin, which is not a bad thing. And even at that, you need to be keen and not to miss it, as it can definitely offend any woman or send the wrong message. You're only forgiven when it's mistakenly done once. But when it is done too often, then it's either you sort of like taking it from the back door, or something is really wrong somewhere, okay? Number two. Now, I know that I said it in one of my videos that it is not real love if you can't fart in front of your partner. But in this case, there is something called limit to everything, right? Now, I am not talking about queefing. In case you don't know what queefing is more or less like a vaginal flatulence or vaginal fart or gas. It's basically an involuntary bodily function that occurs when trapped air is released from the juicy pot. So when the air is released, you might hear a sound similar to a fart. And this happens when the joystick enters into the juicy pot with trapped air inside of it. However, unlike, flatulence, a queef does not emit any odor. But even though there is no odor, it's quite embarrassing for most women, most self-conscious women, that is. But that's a different ball game altogether. Unlike when, you proper fart while making love. It's so annoying. Now, while it can be accidentally done, you must try as hard as possible to not let out that pungent gas while making love. Otherwise, it will just spoil the moment, especially for your partner, and it may affect your self-esteem. Plus, if you're with a partner who can't make a joke out of it, or it's pretty immature, then they might start to see you in a different light, like you are disgusting or for ruining their moment. And in some cases, they might actually go limp or dry because, it was really embarrassing hearing you fart. Okay? So please avoid beans, milk, or any thing that will make you bloated to the point of farting while doing the do. Control that guts, guys and ladies. And this leads us to the next thing that you should avoid before making love, which is number 3, don't have a big dinner. All right, there are lots of healthy food like veggies, beans, eggs, whole grains that can make you gassy during sex. So to prevent embarrassing situation, avoid these types of food and other high fiber foods in an hour or two before the deed. Instead, have a small piece of chocolate. Chocolates are aphrodisiac and they boost, your serotonin levels, which also helps you get into the mood. Number 4, please, whatever you do, don't fall asleep while at it, because honestly, especially for women, this is a grave scene when it comes to sex matters. It just shows how disinterested you are, and you should not even start it at all if you feel sleepy. And even if you've started it, even if it's happening, make sure to see that you make up for that mistake or that error with some morning glory, and all will be forgiven. All right, number 5, accept it is a strategy to get out of that relationship. Do not call another person's name while having it with your partner that you're in exclusivity with, in ecstasy. Because if you want to lose someone for good and fast, dare to call another person's name during sex. If you're not sure what to say or what will come out of your mouth, please just keep your mouth shut or just moan away. That's the easiest way. First things first, except you're having a one-night stand with a stranger, or you just recently cheated with someone who hits your pum-pum real good, better than your partner, then I see no reason why you should dare to call another person's name while having it. I don't see any reason why you should make that sort of mistake in bed. Okay? Number 6, do not pick up your phone while you're having it. I mean, like, you have all the time in the world to chat with your friends, to make up that call. But in the meantime, you had better concentrate on making love and giving your partner the best sexual experience of your lives. All right? Unless you're not into it or they're not doing it right for you, then I could understand. But even at that would be a very rude way for you to show your partner that you're not feeling it. But if that's not the case, or maybe it's just a case of you being distracted by a worker or by your mom or something, then turn off that phone. Get back into the mood. And if you're about to get into the mood with this person, please turn off your phone, because I don't know, these things just happen. When you're in a mood with someone, that's when a call comes from somewhere and you get distracted, especially if it's a call from work. Turn off that phone if you're going to get down and dirty, okay? Okay. Now, number 7, stop denying the favors given to you. Try as much as possible to reciprocate. Lovemaking is give me, I give you, give and take. If your partner gave you an oral job, be ready to pay back. Because really, I don't get why you'd be so comfortable receiving and uncomfortable and then become uncomfortable giving. Like, you're not willing to give back the favor. Or even when you give back the favor, you do it with, disinterest. You're absent-minded while you're doing it. No passion, no zest, no enthusiasm. You're not matching your partner's energy. Because lovemaking is matching energy for energy, passion for passion, zest for zest, enthusiasm for enthusiasm. Because it makes no sense, honestly. Trust me, it will be so mean of you to treat your partner that way all the time. If you're not giving, then you're not going to receive. It's as simple as that. It's on period. It's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is not going to be a situation where you're selfish. It's not a selfish party. And also, if you happen to come earlier than your partner, do not leave your partner unattended. Ensure that they also climax through other ways besides penetration. Because I know for the men, you go limp and it's difficult for you to come back on. So find other ways to take them to that dimension where they experience ecstasy just as you've experienced. Take that time to make them come. Don't just roll over and, go wash off or sleep off or just look at your phone or start chatting nothing. All right? Number 8, and this one is terrible. It's a terrible one. Please. And it's for the men. No dry penetration. This really hurts. And every guy ought to get this into their heads that it is bad. The fact that you're hard and erect enough does not necessarily mean that it is time for you to glide into her juicy pot yet. So always ensure that she's wet enough to accommodate your joystick. If not, you're going to cause tearing, and that's painful. Plus, number 9, I know some of us like to be kinky and want to be like, Christian Grey or 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of what? 50 Shades of Grey. But look, not everyone is a freak. All right? Not everyone is a freak. And not everyone is into kinky stuff. All right? So don't assume someone's sexuality by the things that they say. Some people may just be freaks by words and not by deeds or actions. So when you go about trying to choke them while having sex, find out if they like the idea of being choked, and don't choke so hard that they find it so uncomfortable to breathe. That is just capable of turning them off. And lastly, number 10, can we just stop crying? Especially the ladies. I mean, that can be super funny, especially if it's not a make-up sex and you really, really miss the D. Why crying like something bad just happened? I know at times women, we get so hysterical during lovemaking. Oh, it was so good. And you really don't know how to express yourself other than, just shedding that tears. But when it's done too much all the time, you make the guy feel like he's doing something wrong, or you're feeling guilty for something that he did or something that you did. All right? There are time and place for you to cry, especially when he's done something really good, really appreciative. of all of the efforts that you've put into your relationship. Maybe he got your car, and then he's now giving you sweet love making session with R&B or with Miguel or Trey songs, singing Neighbors Know My Name and all of that sweet songs, you know. But look, when it's become too often, it almost feels weird. Honestly, it almost feels weird. Like, why are you crying? Do you get what I mean? So let there be times, special times, that that you cry, and he knows that he's really gotten into your soul. He's done something for you. All right, and then you are allowed to cry too. I wonder how that would look. Anyways, these are some of the mistakes that I'm urging you to avoid during lovemaking, and I hope you learned a thing or two today. Don't leave without subscribing until I come your way. Do have a swell time. Mwah.